Hi there, grade 8s. Today we're doing 11.4, area of a parallelogram. On the top right corner, I have a rectangle whose base is 9 units long and the height is 4 units tall. We know that to find the area of a rectangle, you use the base times the height. So in this case, I used 9 units times 4 units, which gives me 36. Oops, sorry. There we go, 36. So we wonder how to find the area of a parallelogram when we know how to find the area of a rectangle. By definition, a parallelogram has both pair of opposite sides parallel. My first parallelogram on the left, I used the long edge as the base, which I labeled B, and I used H as the height right here. Remember, the height has to be the perpendicular distance between the two parallel bases. So right here, this is a base, and this is the base, and the height is a perpendicular, which is a 90 degrees to the base, and the distance between the two bases. And imagine if I were to cut this part out from the perpendicular, and I moved it to the opposite side. This cut out part should make up for the empty spaces right here. So now this is now removed. So what do we have here? We will have a perfect rectangle. So likewise, the area of our parallelogram is base times height. On the right, you could also see, had I cut out this part of the rectangle, our parallelogram, and I moved it down here, I will also have a rectangle which has the same base and the same height. So the area of a parallelogram is base times height. Here are some examples. I've pre-written 2 or 3, but I'm going to show you the first 2. Find the area of the parallelogram. The height right here is 6 units tall and 10 units long. So I know that the area of parallelogram is base times height. Awesome. So then I know that I take 10 times 6, which gives you 60 units. Remember to put the units, and it has to be squared. Just like that. 60 units square. Now suppose I have a parallelogram and it has an area of 252 square inches. The height of a parallelogram is 18 inches, and you're to find the base. So let me draw this out. Here's a parallelogram with an area of 2,052 units. Okay, and the height right here is 18 units. So what can we do to find the base? Well, we could simply write out the formula, which is A equals base times height. Sorry, I'm going a little bit slow because I don't have a writing pad. And then you have 2,052, that's a 5, 52 equals 18 times base, or base times 18, doesn't matter. And then what you can do is divide both sides by 18, simple algebra, to find what b is. Okay, so if I cross this out, 18 divided by 18, then I'm left with b, and then 2052 divided by 18 should give me, let's see, should give me 114. So then I know that 114 equals b. But don't forget the units, so it's 114 inches. Okay, right there. So once again, you write out the formula and look at what you're given. You're given that the area is 2052 and you're given that the height is 18. So you put those numbers into your formula and then you find for the unknown. You solve for the unknown. So 2052 divided by 18, simple algebra, divide both sides, do the opposite of what you're having here. You have 18 times b, so you divide 18 on both sides. And then you will have 114 equals b. Make sure you show your work like this. Finally, you have example 3. So what example 3 says is the area of a parallelogram is 18 squared centimeters, and the base is twice the height. So find the base and the height. So you know, again, A equals to base times height. Okay, and then it says that the base is twice the height. So let's just assume or set h, that's an h, equals to x. Okay, and so now we have area equals to base times x. But we are also told that the base is 2 times or twice the height. So I know that base then equals to 2x, right? If the height is x, the base has to be 2x because it says twice the height. So then now I know I can do 2x times x, right? So then what I have right here is then 18 equals 2x times x, which is 2x squared. That's a 2, not a z. And then, let's see if I can make more room right here. How do I make more room? Give me 1 second. Let me make more room. There we go. And then right here, I divide 2 on both sides, which gives me 9. So simple algebra, I divide 2 on both sides because we have 18 equals 2x squared, so we want to know what 1x squared is. So I divide 2 on both sides, which gives me 9 equals x squared, right? And then when I square root this, because I have x squared right here equals 9, so I square root both sides. 9, square root that, which gives me x. Now, we know that for square root, this means what multiplies by itself gives me 9. And we know that 3 multiplies by itself gives us 9, right? 3 times 3 equals 9. But we also know that negative 3 multiplies negative 3, that's a bracket, also gives us 9, right? So the answer would probably be plus or minus 3. equals x. But in this case, we can say that the answer is positive 3 centimeters for the base because we cannot have a negative length of something. So negative 3 is not the right answer. The only answer can only be positive 3. So that's a lesson for today. For your assignment, you are to complete 11.4 exercise questions 3 to 33.